Yo, it's a Red Room podcast. This is episode number 5. Jeez, I was going to say 4.
5.
5 already.
Can't believe that.
5.5.
Yeah.
We're flying through though. Got someone this week. This is the guy I wanted on early, but I wanted him on first, second episode. He was on the list straight away.
He's already helped us out with the camera and the setup.
We should have got him on even before this.
If you wonder why it looks better this time, it was not set up by us.
Looks fresh, looks crisp.
Yeah.
Basically, his job's done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're only interviewing him now as part of like a formality.
Just to be nice and that.
So we've only got the one camera set up today, which is a bit of a change after the
it's
shambles.
Two things is one, the editing is a pain. I mean, you know about editing videos. If you're switching camera every time someone's speaking,
Yeah.
you're cutting it like 4 times a minute, 5 times a minute, and it was taking days to
You
get an
should try
episode
doing a
ready.
music video.
Yeah. I reckon I
Try
could
cut
after
5
this.
times every like couple
Yeah,
seconds.
I can imagine like getting all the footage from a music video onto your computer and then just going, "What the fuck is this?
I know.
Like, where does this go?" Like,
I couldn't do it, man. That's why I've got respect for this guy.
Yeah.
David to do something. We've got Konz,
yeah.
Wavvy Media.
Hello. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can just buzz it all.
I thought we were going to shake
Yeah.
his hand.
I thought I was like, do you want to shake my hand? Yeah.
We ordered a weird handshake.
I thought you said it was informal, right?
He's ripping off his jumper. He's got a suit and tie underneath and
Yeah.
stuff.
But cheers,
The
come through.
Superman of.
We know you were busy earlier on today getting all your freestyles in.
It's all good.
Not you personally, unless you have got a freestyle.
Nah.
You must have tried before.
But nah, that's how I got into this.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, let's get into this. You were a rapper to start
Yeah,
with?
right, okay. So basically, back in the day,
Uh-huh.
every white boy's like thing is like got into music through Eminem. So like when I'd seen that, I was like, oh, like, and then I'd seen that, and then I heard Devlin. Like my mate introduced me to Devlin, and when I'd heard Devlin, it was kind of like one of those things that, you know, like same idea with Eminem. Like I don't mean to make it about race or whatever, but it's like that's like subconsciously how you get, you know, obviously hooked into it. You're like thinking, oh, like he can do it, I can do it, you know, because you relate to them. And then obviously off the back of that, like started to listen to Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, and all that. But in terms of like Devlin, so I'd always wanted to rap because of Eminem, but when I seen Devlin, I was like, that's closer to home, you know, like I could do this. And then so we started recording and stuff. That's what Ransom Fee used to be. It used to be a rap group of me, Nathan Horn, and Effie.
It's mad.
I did not know that.
And
Yeah.
then Ransom Fee Media came after I was sitting, and I was sitting with Effie, and he was like, "Oh, I need a music video," and I says, "Oh, I used to make Bebo skins back in the day."
So it must be like that then as well. So because obviously you're all doing your separate things, right? So people will call FA like Ransom.
Yeah.
But Ransom's the actual crew.
No, but this is where it all changed, because like I used to be Ransom Konz and he was Ransom Effie, and then it was like Ransom Nathan and stuff. So, but I personally, I was just like, I needed to get away from that because I
Your
was
own
thinking,
identity, right?
yeah, like
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
like you kind of. And it's the same idea with like the Ransom crew now. The Ransom crew is like what FA's kind of like started like taking people on board and stuff and doing that. So I don't really have as like, I always have say in terms of like,
So
you know, I still help. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm still part of it in the sense of that, like I'll help them, but it's like more of a collective. So it is that exact sense of like, although it is like Ransom Crew, it's like we've went away and done our own things and like established ourselves as this or that, you know, and that's how you get
an up north Wu-Tang, you know what I mean? Like go away, do your own thing, be a method man, come back.
Like ASAP Mob.
Yeah.
But that's how you get like better, like more well known. Like there's no point like there's a lot of crews that will hide behind like a crew name, and then like, you know, you could be seen in the street and people are like, unless they know you're from that crew, they're not gonna be like, oh, you're that person or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you're always looking online, you see, oh, Konz of this or Konz of that, or like FA or whoever it is, like, you know, it kind of just
Makes
establishes
sense.
in people's brains like who you are, what you're actually doing, and where you're.
So how long ago was this? Because I first met Ransom at a BBC event in Glasgow when it was like the Radio 1 weekend was here. I don't know if you were there as well.
Oh, the Radio 1 Academy.
Yeah, the Academy.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
It was me, Effie, and Cheens. That I drove them both down, and we went to that.
Okay,
yeah.
so that would be the first time I met you then, because I was with Sean Prove and
Mike
DJ.
Callum.
Oh, were you there?
Yeah.
I can't even, because I couldn't remember who I'd actually met that day, because that's actually the first day that I met Kobe Onyame.
Okay.
because Effie said to me, he was like, "Oh, Kobe Onyama is a sick rapper. He's outside and stuff. Like he'll do a freestyle." So we went out and filmed it, and that's kind of like how I knew.
wow.
him. And then years down the line, which is literally I think it was end of last year, I was in King Tut's, and I like this guy came up the stairs, and I looked at him. I'm like, I recognize him from somewhere.
Okay.
And then I just went up and I was like, "Are you Kobe Onyama?" And then he was like, "Yeah, blah blah," and started speaking away and like
Mad. He's done something else for you since then, no? Has it just been one freestyle?
No, just the one freestyle. But that was for RFM though. Like that was in the old channel.
I was like 2012, 13, something like that.
Yeah, it must be.
I don't know.
That's a while ago, like.
The first time I met you was probably Jay Spades. Was it Jay Spades' gig? Did
Oh,
you come through Edinburgh for that?
Yeah, the urban events
I'm
Jay
pretty
Spades.
sure I met you that night actually. And then I'd done my research after that and was like, RFM, like there's videos on there and they're actually alright.
Yeah, it's funny because like see when people like it's funny like the connection that people make. Like so for example, on what was it? It was actually last night. We're at the Bugsy Malone show and I was handing out my cards to people and I handed it to this guy and the guy looked at me and he was just like, "What? You work for Wavvy?" And I was like, "No, like I am Wavvy." Like there is only one person who does Wavvy, it's me. And he was like, "Whoa!" And took out his phone and went like to take a selfie. I'm like, "Mate, like what are you doing?" Like like
I am wavy.
no, because it's one of those things that like if you're an artist, like people take selfies all the time. And people are like that. But when somebody sees like a cameraman, you know what I mean, just putting on a channel, they're like, "Oh yeah," like it's just weird.
It's mad.
Must feel like Lordy from Grime Report. Wonder if he gets that.
Yeah.
You'll get people try to take photos of him and stuff because he doesn't appear on camera at all. Are you going to be?
But they know his voice.
When's your Wavy freestyle?
I'm never doing a Wavy freestyle, but you see him on camera more often soon.
Yeah.
Like I have done stuff here and there.
You have, yeah.
Like I have.
You've done your opinion. You know what?
I mean I
to you.
like these. I like these ones where you
When you do your opinion pieces on Facebook and stuff, I love that because just as you were saying before, we started to hit records.
Yeah.
We want to talk about certain things and all that. It seems that you're the only person that, well, maybe Loki, in fact. I'm trying to think of other people, but who will actually sit in front of a camera and go, "This is what I think of the situation. This is why this should be happening. This is why this shouldn't be happening." And then it creates a debate, and it seems to go further than Scotland as well, which is the funny thing. And it's just some guy sitting in front of his camera talking about hip hop and stuff. That's amazing. Like that's really good.
Because that was the one that you're talking about is the Charlie Sloth thing. Like Charlie Sloth actually like replied and was like, "Oh yeah, cheers Konz for doing this or whatever." Yeah. Like obviously I don't personally know him. I met him at the talking about the Radio 1 Academy. I met him at that because he was doing his like his talk in amongst like because I remember him being there, but other than that, I've never met him since then. Yeah, so he doesn't personally know me, but it was the fact that like the fact that it was the fact that it obviously got back to him. I don't really want to talk about the situation, but because it was what it was.
That's exactly what's needed because, end of the day, like Scotland's built on conflict and stuff. Scotland's a nation built on conflict. There's that many different types of backgrounds, different cities and stuff, and we all seem to not get along, which is weird considering we're a small nation trying to just make it, especially in hip hop. We should all be trying to get along. The way I see it.
I mean, it's getting better now. I'd say.
Better.
I mean, I've never seen it the buzz around hip hop like it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a main factor of that, or one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, back in the day. I mean, you'll know when you started. How hard is it to find people?
Well, this is the thing. As in, like, I was actually speaking to somebody today about how people always go like, and I actually put up a status. I think it was like a couple of weeks back. How people are like, "Oh yeah, like Mog or like Loki or these sort of people." They're like, "Oh yeah, they're like, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here." And like me, come from Aberdeen, I didn't even know about these people. Like, if you want to talk about who I actually knew, the only Scottish rapper I knew was Cheens, and like he was from Aberdeen.
Listen, I remember listening to Cheens back in like. Soundclip days, like back I'm talking like 15 years ago, like as long ago as that. This guy's been rapping. I remember.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like,
had a modem. Like.
Yeah, like.
But this is the thing. So like with that, I was just like, it was ask Effie. Like I told him, when he talked about like getting better at rapping and stuff like that, I was like, look, you're not competing in Scotland. You're competing with like London and all these people that you want to be on the same level as. Like you have to consider yourself as that level. And when it came to, that sort of, I don't know, it is just literally just like, I'm rambling. What was I talking about?
basically competition and who you're competing with, because
so sorry, so bringing it back in terms of like people you're competing with, like that's the people we were looking at. Like we weren't looking at, I didn't even know, like Mad Hat's the first person I met, Scottish rapper, when we went on a road trip. Like I passed my test and I started driving about and like linking with people, and that, like, Mad Hat's the first one I met.
Where? Just randomly?
No, in Edinburgh. Like, so like at the time I was told, because obviously, he'd obviously had a bit of buzz at the time, and I'd never, there wasn't a Scottish rap channel. He didn't want to do the freestyle unless, like financially, like, he was gaining anything, because obviously it wasn't exposure wise. And then I says, well, I'll do a net video for you. So I made a net video for you. I did Lo and Behold, and then did that, and then in return he did a freestyle for the channel, because it wasn't that well known.
Yeah.
But like bringing it back, I know I'm like talking about so many different things. It's good. Bringing it back, like Cheens is the only person like that I'd even knew about. So like people can't really say, oh yeah, to me personally, like people can't say, oh yeah, if it wasn't for that person, you wouldn't be here. Yeah. Like, so like, because in Aberdeen there wasn't really a music scene at all. Like it's just strange, because there was pockets of rappers, but nobody knew each other. Like nobody knew. Well, some people.
What's it like now?
Now, everybody's online. Yeah. So because everybody's online, everybody knows it, and because basically of like Wavvy and like like the actual videos of freestyles, like one day you'll be sitting there and another freestyle comes out, and then you all make your opinions on it, and then everybody starts chatting about it, and then just all gets shared and stuff. So
the opinions on his videos, that's Sam we're going to touch on soon though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, definitely, yeah. But it's taken you far and wide. I mean, I know that you've been shooting stuff for Link Up and things like that.
There's a lot of mad stuff like that's kind of happened. Like, because I was when I was doing RFM, I was doing that for free. I never charged for anything. Like I was working in an oil company as an apprentice, basically getting my plan B sorted. And in 2016, end of 2015. I left my full-time employment and just moved down to Glasgow and that. So, and then created Wavvy music
and stuff, and it looks like it's paying off though.
But then the thing is, like all the experiences that I've had after moving, I would have never ever done that. Like,
and you're over your subscriber limit already.
Yeah, and that's like, I think it's in March, that'll be a year old.
That's all, 1 year. And you've got a website coming, when is it coming?
You want an exclusive?
Yeah.
Says well, I don't know when this is getting edited, but Sunday I think I'm gonna drop it.
Okay.
I've been like working on it so much in the background.
You build it yourself?
It's kind of and kind of not. So like it's like WordPress, right?
Okay.
You know what WordPress is? Yeah. So like you kind of like buy a theme and then you install the theme. But the thing is that if parts of the theme don't suit the way you like it, you've obviously like if you don't know how to edit it, then you can't really do much about that. But I kind of worked out like it was such a long-winded process, because I would change something, then I'd refresh the page, see what happened, then change it, and keep going back that. So like a web designer could have walked in and just done my job in like 5 minutes, but I did it. So
that's good though.
The theme and everything is like now custom technically, because I've moved everything about, changed all the fonts and moved, you know what I mean? So
you're actually happy with it now?
Yeah, honestly, I'm so gassed about it. I can't wait for it to come out, because like it's one of those things that like
what is it going to do other than showcase your videos?
It's gonna it's gonna actually sort out that Wavvy music isn't just rap music. It's gonna sort that out, because it's gonna have the rock, pop, dance, and rap. Yeah, and it's got so it's gonna have like interviews, remixes, mixes, like heaps of different things. But there's also a section that like nobody else has done that I'm gassed about. Well, kind of, maybe people have done it.
You giving it away?
Yeah, there's going to be a Wavvy beat section, right?
Yeah.
Which basically the idea behind it is that the biggest problem in rap music right now is connecting the producer to the rapper.
Yeah.
And like, so people will go online, they might find a beat and it might be incorrectly named or whatever it is, and you don't know who to contact basically.
Yeah.
So now there's going to be a page where rappers can go onto the page, click the beats, listen to the beats, actually come off the app on their phone. Like I've tried it on my iPhone and it worked, right? And they could write bars to these beats, listen to them through the website, right? And then they can go onto it, and then they can click the Twitter address of the producer, and the bio's all there about the producer, so you know who the producer is, where he comes from, where he like whatever, like
it's like centerfold up there now.
Yeah,
a couple of others.
So it's like, but it's like it's like right now it's like grime or hip hop beats that are on there. Like so, it's like you can go on to Wavy Beats and then go to hip hop and click that and listen to strictly hip hop producers.
How have you been finding the beats?
I've literally, it hasn't really started yet because I've only got a couple of people like I've got like Teddy, Rapture 4D and like.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
no. Well,
okay.
You could technically have that, like, because it would just be free beat, like, because it doesn't have to be exclusive. It's just, just anything that it's like kind of just like making it into almost like a catalog that people can just watch it. Like say for example they checked out Jigz and they liked the beat, then they could go away and they could either contact you and be like, oh well, I liked that beat, but can you make me an exclusive? You know what I mean? So. Yeah. And it adds.
I'll throw some of that.
It adds like a face to the producer rather than sitting, like.
Yeah. The amount of guys, I mean, there's beats out there that are being used. Producer's probably not got a clue that it's been used. See the amount of times I've sent beats out, don't get anything back. There's a track to it somewhere, but no one ever gets back in touch because they don't know how to contact you. It's smart, very smart. Yeah,
Sean Prove does that all the time. It's like
I've seen his one beat be used by like 5-6 different people.
He gets messages and stuff saying, "Oh, I've used this beat, check it out." And it's not every day, but it's just insane.
Yeah.
Like the amount of kind of people that are recording and stuff, and there's that app Brap. Well,
yeah, Brap's alright.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Which again, I've got stuff on, and he's got stuff on it as well. And people stick their wee videos on up, and that's pretty cool. But no, it's a good idea.
That's like Foreign Beggars who started that app. Actually,
yeah. But it's a good idea. Hopefully it does. So that hopefully is Sunday. That'll be up before then.
Hopefully, because we got the website launch.
That's fun.
Well, either way, it's got to be. It's got to be
Saturday.
It's got to be out before Tuesday. So, because the Wavy Music launch party is on Tuesday.
Yeah, what's that about?
Flat 01 in Glasgow.
Okay, it's nice in there.
On the lineup we got Ransom F.A., Zio Leonardo, Swan, and Chrissy Grimes.
Okay.
Now that wasn't easy.
How did you choose them? And how did you leave out some people?
The reason some people were actually left out wasn't because they were left out. It was more because they were part of crews. And I didn't want to have like, like levels are there, like Ransom crew are there, BFDV, MFDM, whatever. Like, I didn't want it to be about crews. I wanted it to be like, right, cool. Are you as a solo artist doing quite well? And like, are you packaging yourself well as a solo artist? Then I was like, I kind of just wanted to, it wasn't in the sense of, I don't want that person. It was just like, right, Chrissy, Swan, F.A., Leonardo, like it's completely different artists, completely different crews, like, like there's non-biased about it, because I could have filmed
people's feelings now, Konz.
But this is the thing, I could have filmed the lineup just with Ransom crew alone. Know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. Like it's not, I try. This is it goes back to the arguments online and stuff that you're talking about. Like I try look at it from two different angles. So it's like, right, how do I feel about that? And like, wait, how are they feeling? You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what that's why people lose in an argument because the thing is that if you look at something in two different ways, then you're able to think differently about it, and then you can actually just get your facts straight and be like, right, cool, maybe I did mess up or maybe I didn't. Like
Plus, just not everyone's going to get on. It's physically impossible to feature everyone that wants to be featured.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those ones that you just got to make the choice and just be like, boom, there you go. But
I've said this on my previous shows and everything. Looking at it from say a producer's point of view, we'll send beats to people. Mm-hmm. If those beats aren't used, I'm not going to then take the huff about it. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to send it to someone else. So it should be the same. Yeah. Just because you're not getting on now doesn't mean you're not going to get on later. There's no point in having feelings about it.
I knew this would come up.
It's personal opinion. Like last week, I sent a beat to Zesh, and Zesh was like, it was like it's all right, but I'm not feeling it. I then played that to Sky last week. The guy went nuts.
Exactly.
Yeah, writing it straight there and then. I mean, so one guy doesn't like something doesn't mean it's shit or it's just someone's opinion.
Yeah. But that's as controversial. We'll get it. It's out there. It's on Facebook and everything. And it's been done to death. It's going to happen again. You know, people are...
But then the thing is that like,
Can't
so
please
touching,
everyone,
no,
man.
but
Can't
then
please everyone,
touching on it though, isn't it? Because it's not even just that situation. It's happened quite a few times.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the sense of that like somebody will send something in, and this is why like I can't wait for the website, because as much as it sounds bad, like when the website comes out, like when you get replied from the website, you know, about featuring, it's going to be the Wavvy Music team. Like, so the Wavvy team, like, so like when I do build up, like it's going to be, you know, like somebody might get in contact with you that's like, I appreciate their opinion or whatever, or they've ran it past me, and then us as a group has got in contact, because it'll get rid of the thing that Konz said this, Konz said that, because what happens is that people don't like if I criticize something and I don't agree with how they feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, as in like, I do try look at it in, you know, like a massive perspective, as in like I've put certain people on that other people would be like, oh, why did you put him on?
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, yeah, but he's been working hard. He's got a bit of a buzz about him. You know, like they're getting to that stage. So it's just like it's not like I'm trying to set the bar so unbelievably high that these people aren't getting on, but it's just like
It's not that it's that
I can't.
people didn't agree with the music that was. That's all it came down to. You know what I mean? It's personal preference. What it came down to. The specific song that they were talking about that started it all was people didn't like it, and they blamed you for it. I don't know why they blamed
Which
you.
one is this?
The RB one.
Oh yeah, oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's what I'm
that
talking about.
like. Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh,
but, like,
there's another one.
No, it's not that.
No.
But like, see that track, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm a videographer, like a filmmaker, so I go away and have a job, and I go do that, and it wasn't even involved in Wavvy. Like,
was-
you know,
it
like
was Link
because
Up.
I've got
Was it Link Up?
Konz,
Was it Link
yeah,
Up?
it was Link
Yeah.
Up. So like, I've got Konz Visual and I've got Wavvy Music. Like Konz Visual films for Wavvy Music. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, it's same idea. Like I filmed heaps of different things. Like I filmed, you know, Christmas fairs and heaps of random jobs and stuff. And one, I like doing it just because I get to meet different people and stuff.
Yeah,
but it's like, I can't do that under Wavvy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
mean,
you know,
the way
and
we
I'm
should-
not gonna sit there and go, right, cool. Me personally, I don't rate the creative direction you're taking your music in. I think you should change it. No, like you can't do that. As a producer, would you two sit there and go, oh, blah blah blah? I know you're in here and you're just paying me to record your track for you, but yeah, I think you should change this and change that, and actually the beat doesn't even suit it. You know what I mean? Like,
I
you can't.
just take the money. And run.
No, well, there's
Basically.
there's a cut-off point. You know what I mean? As in, like, there's only so much you can criticize somebody's work or like change
I would say that, but that's just me.
But that'd be then your opinion. Who's to say that someone else won't like it?
But that's the thing.
then
For
it
us
depends.
to have this conversation about like an inter-Scottish thing, for us to have this conversation and the scene is big enough for us to have this conversation is a massive thing in itself.
Yeah.
Like even 5 years ago, nobody, as you said, nobody knew who each other was. Now everyone's online, everyone's rapping, and we're actually having this conversation, and it's mad. Like this is something that would happen maybe in London or whatever, but now it's happening in Scotland, and it's good. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
So shout out to everyone. You know. in the
Well,
scene doing it.
my personal part, like proud moment was when I was standing back. Like what we'd done is we set up the camera away back next to sound desk in the O2 Academy for Eskimo dance, and I'm just sitting there watching FA, Gid, and No Jam behind the decks and stuff, and all these people just going absolutely mad, and I'm looking at this thinking, like watching this situation unfold, thinking, I'm not mad. Like I'm actually, you know, I actually had a point. They are sick. Like they are getting to that stage.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I tell you, right, cool, I'm going to do this and it's going to be massive, you're not going to believe me until it happens. And, you know, so like, you know, I could be chatting shit. I could be actually telling the complete truth because like it is happening. You know, you get what I mean? But it's like, it's not until it happens that you're like,
That was a moment.
right,
That was a moment.
that is it.
You seen it?
No, it's not that. There's been heaps of different moments, but it's like that was one of the moments I was just like, I'm not insane. It is real. You know, people are rating Scottish music. It is getting to that stage. You know, and it's like boundaries and barriers is broken all the time, but literally artists left, right, and centre in Scotland, like it's completely changing.
And you might see a different, but I'll take it to wrestling, right?
I don't know how you can like.
Wrestling.
But
So the WWF, right, needs like WCW, but the WCW died. So there's only one company now, really. It's big. I think that even when we get to a stage, you'll see it differently, where there's a Wavvy Music and it gets bigger and bigger. There's then someone else comes in, and then someone else, because competition to me breeds
Please tell me
perfection.
I'm not WCF or whatever.
No, you're the WWF.
Then the combination comes in.
I think you just merged both names together. The WCF.
Yeah, the World Wavy Federation.
I thought you were getting to the point of like, yeah, so that was the originator, and then this one came in, but he died out, so you're gonna die out. Like, just give
Nah,
out yours.
I think he was meaning you were the WWE,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
okay.
there needs to be, I think.
A WCW.
Yeah.
So,
So
I mean, there is a few other channels
no,
out
I'm not
there
saying
doing
there
it.
isn't, but I'm just saying that for particular styles of music, there needs to be competition. You know, they all do different stuff. I know there's like other things out there, but they're very nichey. There's very grime orientated channels and stuff, and there's very like just hip hop. There's nobody really doing what you're doing at the moment, which or as good as you're doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is everything to do with the music scene. And I think when more people do that, it's going to just be benefiting everyone else, I think.
Yeah.
But then,
I agree.
to be honest though, like, if anybody wants to take any bit of advice away from me, like, nobody has to listen to me. But the way I've done what you're talking about is literally by the ethos, basically. Is that what you would call it? An ethos of like, do not touch anything unless you're going to do it in a professional manner.
Yep.
So like, if you're going to hear a verse from me, which you're not, don't get excited. But if you're,
Off camera, maybe.
if
We'll
you're
get
gonna,
one before the show ends.
Yeah.
but if you were.
He's got old bar. We've got old bar stashed.
If you were gonna, if you were gonna hear a verse from me, it would be professionally recorded. It would be properly mixed and properly mastered.
yeah.
Like, I wouldn't go away and just do it for like the sake of it. Like, there would be a reason behind it. And it's the same idea as in like I was in a club one time. It was La Cheetahs, and somebody asked me. He says it was Shogun, MFTM, and everything, and BFDB. They were all performing, and it was a 6 set. And some guy says to me, goes, "Why are you not filming it? Why are you not filming it?" I says, because I couldn't make a professional video out of this. Like, the light, there's no good lighting. I've not got a second cameraman. I've not, I can't record from the mixer because I haven't brought the equipment to do that. I says, I'm not going to do that. Now, that might have been a good video if I'd actually had all that to do it, but it's just like, there's no point doing something that you're going to be seen as unprofessional. Whereas
it
like
makes sense.
Eskimo dancers and like that was like my attempt at right, cool, I'm gonna film it kind of like Tea in the Park, and to the standard they would do.
If
And
he loses his voice,
yeah,
Esco Dance, yeah. I don't know if you've seen this performance. He was going.
he hadn't lost his voice, but after it, he was.
gradually through the songs losing it. By the end, he was just shouting. And I imagine when he came off, he must have just been like a totally different person. Like,
But that's the thing, because people on stage they can't hear.
No.
Sometimes the monitors don't feed back that
yeah.
well, so like they get louder and louder to hear yourself, and then
Yeah.
so.
Because like I'm a drummer, so if I'm playing shows and I can't hear anything, I get louder. I get louder and louder and louder, and then I can't hear the singer, and then the singer has to get louder, and the guitarist has to get louder, and it just becomes an absolute farce. But it's easier with hip hop shows, and when Effie was going in, I was getting gassed as well, like watching it. It was
One of
class.
those ones I wish I was there. You know what I mean? When you seen it.
Yeah, it was really good. Like, but
It was actually a good night. Like, everybody smashed it. Like, genuinely.
yeah. But we've worked together before. You actually done a video for me.
Yep.
This was a year ago.
I hope
now?
this isn't a crap review.
Oh, it's
No, but you done a video for me with DZ and Effie as well. Funnily enough,
was DZ on time or did he turn up or what?
DZ did turn up.
Yeah.
Yeah, couldn't believe it.
Was he on time though?
Yeah, I think it was.
No, I think you were late.
You must have told him.
No, it was fine.
You
It was
must have
it
told
was-
him it was the day before.
No, it was the girls that were supposed to be in the video.
Oh
that
yeah,
were late.
yeah.
Because that was when Hibs won the cup, and there was the
Well, you shot it that day.
You shot it in Leith on that day, right?
Really?
I don't like football. I don't.
But
Like, so I can tell you
I
what.
booked it in advance. Hibs are going to win the Scottish Cup. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But they did, obviously, because I shot my video. That
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So they couldn't actually get into where they were trying to go. So we had the hairdressers and everything. But that was a good shoot. I loved that venue as well, and the product was like awesome. Like, I really liked the product at the end. And you've done that for like lots of local acts, and you've done it for, as we said, other channels. You went down to London and shot, what was it, Maxstar and Effie as well.
Yeah,
for the
this
remix.
is I want to hear a story. I heard something like you were just there, like you weren't meant to shoot that video, right?
No, I wasn't meant to shoot.
You weren't meant to,
No.
but then you did end up shooting it.
Yeah,
so what happened?
What
this is for the remix to Wake up.
Yeah, wake up. Yeah. So what had basically happened off. I don't know how the track actually came about to. Actually, no.
How they Max?
Yeah. So what had happened?
I know Maxter.
Right?
So
yes.
What happened was I was playing FIFA with Maxter, right? I know Maxter through Sean Prove. I go down there quite a lot. I've got songs with Maxter. We were playing FIFA, and I was asking, right, how did that come about? And he literally just watched the video on
was it SBTV it was on, right?
Was it?
Original.
Yeah, they're both on SBTV.
It wasn't through any connections. It was literally, he watched it. He was like, I'm feeling that. I'm really feeling that. Like, I really like the beat and stuff like that. And he wanted actually to do maybe a remix to it, but he ended up getting in touch with Effie, I think, and Effie sent him the beat. But then Max ended up recording the whole song.
Yeah, that's what
that was confusing to me. I was waiting on Effie.
No, because what had actually happened is that Effie had sent it to him in the sense of, is it gonna, it's gonna come back and there's gonna be a free verse and he'll jump on a verse and then he'll write a brand new one for the new track. And yeah, as you said, isn't it? Came back and it was filth. Like the whole they just had Effie on the choruses and there was a complete song.
Yeah.
And then, but why were we even down in? I can't remember why we were down in London. What was that time for? Because I've been down a few times now, like doing different things
as well. Yeah. Was it Sunny Green and stuff as well?
That wasn't that time though. That was after.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think back now but yeah.
But anyway, I was down there for some reason with Effie, right? And it was kind of just like, I think we were there for a couple of days, and then I think it was the last day that he was. Actually, that was what it was. That's it. I says, right, cool. I want to go to London to film some freestyles. If you pay the petrol, I'll drive you down. Yeah. Right. So that's what happened, and then I just happened to be there with Effie and Gideon, Gid Gams and. Max, I was like, oh, my boy can't film it anymore, and then Effie was like, oh.
Also, already a prearranged like video shoot with someone else.
Yeah. So I think it was like Max. Yeah, that was it. It was like Effie had to be there because Maxter's guy was going to be filming it.
Okay.
So and then because I was there and that Max's guy like landed up doing it, they were like, oh, well, you do it, and I'm like, yeah, why not? And then
is that was at his house?
Yeah, never met any like family or anything.
And
but
Hydro was there as well.
I think it was actually just his actual family home.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So like that was mad to see that, and you struggle to think of people that work with Scottish. You guys probably MCF days. That was probably the first time I noticed. Guys like Mike Righteous that working with Scottish people. SOS and all them. And then
SAS.
now it's on the SAS, sorry. And then it's the grime side of things now, and it's just like mad, and it's all through. Just watching something on the internet and just saying, that's a good song, I want to do a remix of it. And it's some guy from Scotland. Like, it's mad to think
that's
that.
Mad to think that. Like, back in the day, we had to go, we were in London every month. We had to go and meet these people and make Matic stuff to rap to them or at them to get, to get that. Whereas now you can just watch. I'm not saying YouTube wasn't around back then. It wasn't like, I'm talking 20 years ago.
Dial up.
Talking like 5 years ago. It was different. It's came on a lot since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are more open to what music they're looking for.
But see, this is why I always say this to people about I always say it it sounds like every time I say it sounds like I'm saying it in a biased view because obviously I film music videos and film freestyles and stuff like that and run wavy, but videos are literally what gets people noticed. As in you can do a good example is Shogun's Vulcan freestyle. That actual track was on SoundCloud for 5 months before that freestyle came out, and he just filmed it live and boom, it went up. What is it, 2 million views? It's almost that now.
We just done the same earlier. We were looking for an old Scottish rapper and we were trying to find his music videos, and his video had just had a photo of him on YouTube. We wouldn't watch it. I was like, fuck it. We didn't want to watch it.
Yeah,
exactly. But
it's just filming a freestyle can literally change. It just shows you that video changed his life. It is literally.
Did you film him first?
I filmed. No, Omar filmed Shogun first.
Right.
With a music video called Mandy's Paradise, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then I think it was a year or so later when I'd moved down to Glasgow, I was filming freestyles for free, and it just happened to be I'd got hit up by him, and I literally just went to see him. As in he'd sent me a recording that wasn't that great. It was kind of obscure, and I was like, yeah, cool. I'll just, I'll come along and stuff. Like, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
And when he started to spit, I'm like, holy shit.
Blown away.
As in, like, I was blown away. I'm sitting there like, what the hell? Like, where's this guy been?
Yeah.
And literally from off the back of filming that one,
It was, they actually
they'd found that one.
They seen your one and was just like, this guy's something else. That's what it was. And then they filmed him for Vulcan after that. Mad, but you just dropped something recently with him. Is that you?
Yeah, literally just done a freestyle, another freestyle a couple of days ago.
So that's like 4 videos he's done now with you guys, isn't it?
I've
Like 3 freestyles in a music video.
done
I've
2
done
music
two-
videos.
oh,
I've
sorry,
done
two music videos, 2 freestyle.
Unrivaled, Element, and another. I think it's 4 freestyles now.
Shogun's new video, that was the 70th freestyle. What, on Wavvy or in total?
That was the 70th freestyle on Wavvy.
So you've not even been going for a year, so that's over one a week.
You know what slows me down though? People.
Yeah, no,
like honestly,
These
I went.
goddamn rappers.
Yeah,
Well,
these- these
it's
got-
not. No, it's not that. It's like genuinely. I mean, as in like like either people not hitting me up or genuinely like people have other things on, so they can't get. They can't find the time to come see me. But like for example, when I went to London one time, like I came back with like I think the one that you were just talking about. I think I came back with like 4 freestyles or something, and I was there for 4 freestyles and 1 music video, and I was there for 2 days.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, "Oh, I can't believe you did that," and I'm looking at them like the only reason I didn't film more is because I didn't have anybody else to film like that had been in contact. Like if they literally like I could film freestyles all day every day.
Like, I mean,
like,
even today, how many you done today?
I did 4
today.
4 today, just coming over to Edinburgh.
There you go. That's
Mad.
crazy.
Yeah.
So Jigz is going to do one as well.
Yeah,
I'm
you
ready.
can
I've
spit
got
one,
one ready.
yes.
That's why he's here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
have
think
a
we should
rap
do that.
battle.
Just have like not a round table, rectangle table. Just have all rappers and just
cipher.
just cipher. Yeah.
The
See how it
round
goes.
table,
I
the
swear,
rectangular
I
table,
can't
is separate.
rap. I've never tried to rap in my life. I don't think.
Yeah, I've never even. written
Skyboy
anything.
claims he's got something that when I did, but I can't remember.
I've maybe said to rappers like change that line to something else, and then give them a line. I've never actually like done my own.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to talk about giving lines on camera?
Yeah, my boy,
Let's
my boy
get.
Drake.
What was it? What was the story when you could?
Ghostwriting.
There was something. One interview you did, was it with Jigz?
Oh yeah.
What was this? Something just sparked in my brain there.
About
You were working offshore at the time, right? And
no, I wasn't working offshore. I was working on an oil manufacturing company.
Right.
Right. So you obviously get drug tested all the time, and he's asked me what was it. He said to me on camera. I was like, oh yeah, well like obviously weed stays in your system for like God knows how many days. It could be a week, just whatever. And he'd said to me, he was like, oh yeah, do you smoke? And he went like this and looked at me, and I just started to laugh. And then I was just like, I can't remember what I'd said. I was like, oh no man, cut that. And he's like, man said cut that. Honestly, he was just pissing himself laughing. It was just so funny. But
Where was
obviously,
that?
it was Leeds Festival.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's right. I remember watching that actually. When it's like got that.
Yeah, because it was him and Get sitting there. But what was annoying is that like, so I put that out as like just like a funny video to put out.
Yeah.
But that whole interview was destroyed by a Poundland cable, because the cable I'd bought for £1 had like auxiliary cable had like, I can't remember what had happened. Something happened inside the cable, so every single time he moved them, I moved the mic, it went.
No way.
Yeah, so
that's all you could save was just that one little piece.
yeah, well, there's little bits here and there, but it just keeps coming in and out, and like it's just so annoying. So
Yeah,
so that's gone. That's gone.
gone forever.
But there's plenty of other random interviews, like
I seen one
DJ
with like,
Yella.
one with like DJ Yella. I seen one with like Asher D as well.
Oh yeah, that was
Like
like
just,
RFM,
just like
yeah.
inside a club. Yeah, DJ Yella. Like that was picked up everywhere. I seen that on like Hip Hop DX and like all these like American hip hop sites, quoting what you said to him, what he said to you.
Crazy.
That was mad. How did you find that out?
How did I find what?
Like that these American sites were using your interview.
No. Like
Did you send it to them or did
I
they
don't know
just-
if I sent like, so I sent it to certain ones to
Right.
see like, look, because obviously what you do is you do a press release and send it, saying, oh, blah blah blah, he said this,
Yeah.
this is about whatever it is. And obviously being DJ Yella, as soon as people see that in their inbox, it's like, oh, DJ Yella. And so it got picked up by Hip Hop DX, and then it was like OK Player or something else.
Yeah.
There was another few as well, and I was just like, that's mad.
Crazy. Seen it everywhere.
Yeah, that's good. Like
It didn't get as many views as I thought it would, but
Still,
it is what it is.
yeah, these things happen. When did you decide no more RFM and you were going to rebrand as Wavvy? When did you decide to do it and why?
To be honest, one of the realizations that I had was I remember coming into my, because obviously I'm from Aberdeen, went into my mum and dad's house and my dad's there and he was like, oh, I was, because he works as a painter and decorator, and he says, oh, I was telling somebody today at work about your channel and stuff. I told him to check out RFM and stuff, and I just looked at him. I thought, they're not going to manage to find it. It says there was a Portuguese radio station called RFM, and obviously I rebranded RFM Media as RFM, so I was just like, you're not going to find it, and that just really annoyed me. That it's just like, I thought that potentially people might be looking for it, and I wouldn't be able to find it. So I thought, I'm going to rebrand it, and I'm going to find something that's going to completely, when you type in Wavvy, WAVVY, even if you type in WAVVY, that alone, everything comes up. There's nobody else that uses that spelling.
Okay.
So
that's good, because it must have been a hard decision because you built that audience, and then to go right, starting something new.
Yeah.
Because on YouTube it's really hard to even get that to that kind of place, and you've done it twice.
Yeah.
And there's more. So, and it's going to get bigger. So that's obviously awesome.
RFM is still. Is everything still online?
Yeah, everything's still online. It's like I just see it as kind of like so it's weird because when people talk about the videos, if you show me any video, I could tell you all the stories that happened on either that day or why that video happened or around that video.
Yeah.
And so like to me, it's more like one of those keepsake things. Like people obviously watch it and stuff and think, like, some people might still think the channel exists, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But obviously there's no new content that's going to come out, but it's the sense that like I can watch it and be like, oh, I remember doing that was funny, or we went there, we did that, like, because it's just life experiences. Like,
because you were interviewing bands and stuff as well, so are you going to have that same sort of thing now? Because you've got the wavy kind of rap, you're going to have like wavy other genres, or?
Well, I do have wavy rock and I do have dance and pop as well, but the thing is that because I'm only one guy, I can't do everything at once. And when it comes down to like bands, for example, obviously you need a space to record them. Two, you need plenty of mics to mic the whole thing, mic everything up. Like, it's a lot of work, and you to get to that stage. Whereas like if I film a rapper on a street corner, like, doesn't really take any, like.
Do you find it more difficult because obviously with the rap stuff, that's what you're into as well, so what's really good, what you can.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, as in, like, so that's one of the reasons why I focus heavily on wavy music rap, because the other channels, like, the fact that you obviously didn't know about some of them, it is the fact that, like, I'm one person and I couldn't do it all. So it's just like, as I said about the professionalism thing, like, if you're gonna do something, do it properly. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do the rap side, and then if I can get that to a stage, that, because I know what I'm doing with that, if I can get to that a certain stage, then I can build a team, and then I can emulate what I've done to all the other channels.
Yeah, and plus, as you said, it's harder for the bands and stuff. It's just one guy.
It will happen, but it's just, as in, like, it will happen. It's just the fact that, like, everything takes time, and like, I've had the website, for example, I've had that for, I think it was like a year and a bit. I've had it for a year. Like, I've had the website when I decided it was Wavy Music. I had the website, and I'd made it. I think it was wavy.co.uk or something. I'd made it, and I was like, because I originally thought, oh, I'm gonna do like films, whatever, and just gonna have a proper website. But one of the things that people don't realize is that when you start to like overly, saturate what you're doing in terms of like, the lines kind of like differ about what are you actually doing. Like, when you go to wavymusic.com, it is wavy music. Like, you're there for music. I could do anything music related. If I'm gonna do wavy films, I do wavy films. If I'm gonna do whatever,
it's all split like this.
Well, that's not gonna happen right now. But I mean, like, that's potential. Like, it's one of those things. It's just like same idea. Like Apple do Apple Music. Apple do Apple. Whatever. There's. It is the sense that, like, you can get to a stage where you're just doing heaps of stuff and you're not actually a master of anything, and there's no point in doing that. You're never going to go far, because it's easy to see everybody else's mistakes. Like, when you're sitting back and you watch companies or whatever, like, you can actually go, all right, okay, well, they made a mistake there, and then you can just learn from it. It's a lot easier, But I think although like SBTV and Link Up and stuff, they're there, it's hard to, you know, like I'm not up here trying to do that up here. You know, I'm trying to make something completely different, and it is this, but it is the sense that you can still look at them and go, oh, well, I feel they made this mistake or that mistake, because people make mistakes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the way or direction they take things.
So do you do like all the graphics and everything as well for your?
I do
channel?
everything.
Do absolutely everything. Oh, that's good. Like, because usually, you know, you'll have someone that's like, well, okay, I'm good at this side of thing, the editing and stuff and the recording, but a graphic designer, I don't know what I'm doing, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like us.
Teach yourself how to do all of that.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. Yeah.
But I'm not like a graphics designer though, because like, you know, people come to me and be like, oh, well, you do this or you do that, you know, where you make a flyer for me and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not a graphics designer. Go speak to a graphics designer, because I'm not going to put something down like if I can't do it to the best of my abilities. You know, like I'm just really good in the sense that working something out and going, okay, I like that, like that's a high enough standard, cool, like I'll do that, you know what I mean? Man, you should get
the heat's on now, man. The heat's on.
Yeah,
it's getting a bit toasty.
Before we get to the next part, because there was a wee cut there, right?
Yeah.
We've got the winner of the Sky and Shogun beef here.
The winner.
The winner, Konz by TKO.
Nah, let's be real for a second though. What happened there and what Konz did is probably the best thing that's happened in this country in terms of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, you showcased something that people wanted to see. Like, people were dying to see replies and they were waiting for them, and it was amazing to see. Right, so let's go for it. At what point? Because obviously it was Shogun's video first, right? Unrivaled, and
that was on a little jab as well.
That's when it happened.
Well, it was blatant, obviously.
That's when it started.
That's what it started.
Was it a case of you were filming it and you're like, oh fuck?
No. I got told by Shogun, Luke,
right.
I've said something about Sky in it, and it was like, is that a problem? And I says, no, because at the end of the day, it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
I says, you know, anybody's music is their music. Like, whether or not, like, for example, don't get me wrong, as in, like, if it's one of my best mates, I'm not gonna just let them, you know, diss my best mate and I'm gonna put it on Wavvy or whatever. But like, if it makes sense to why it's actually happening, I'm like, right, cool. And to be honest, all Shogun did is challenge, like, his, you know, basically people's beliefs, like, and not in the sense of like spiritual or whatever, like just in like hip hop, like, what do you think about this, like, you know, and that this is what his view on it was, and he said what he said, you know what I mean? So. But the thing is that when you talk about beefs and things like that, I like, as you said, as you know, like, I'll sit on fences like all the time and stuff like that. Like that. Keep in mind, that's not easy for me. Like, I don't find that easy because I'm quite over opinionated, and you know, like I could get involved in stuff, but then I would never ever get anything done. But in terms of that whole thing, like, that kind of came about, and I never told Sky to send. Like, for him, I never said anything. I didn't.
I told him not to. I told him don't do it.
Well, at no point did I instigate any beef. Like, what I did is I took it from like some shitty Facebook comments or whatever to actually putting it as something that's a productive, product that somebody can actually go, right, cool. Well, you know what I mean? Like, because nobody can win.
And then he was like, fuck it.
He wasn't going to do it. How did you feel before it was dropping, that first one? Like, were you a bit apprehensive, a bit nervous, or were you about what was going to come?
I didn't really care, to be honest. As in, like, I was actually just... No. Like, I wasn't even looking at that. Like, so I was just looking at the sense of, like, right, was Unrivaled was filmed the same day as Wake Up.
Was it?
Yeah, I filmed 2 music videos on the same day.
I didn't know that. That's mad.
Yeah, well, FA recorded the...
Was that in Glasgow there?
Yeah. So what had happened was, Shogun, I said to Shogun, I said, look, go up see FA and then record a track with him, and FA recorded Unrivaled for him, and I was just like, well, if you're recording the track for him, you know, just jump on a track together. So they worked on Wake Up and Unrivaled, and so the two, they came back to Glasgow, I think it was the day after or 2 days after, and I filmed both the music videos on the same day.
Which one came out first?
I think Unrivaled came out first.
Was it?
But that was obviously because me personally, I wanted obviously that out as quick as possible, because when Vulcan started to blow up, he was already in Aberdeen recording. Like, so we were speaking, you know, like, obviously arranging stuff, you know, from, because we already knew each other from the original freestyle, and I was speaking away. And then that happened. So we were like, fuck. You know, like SBT, like he went up to Aberdeen and Jamal Edwards was on the phone to him, speaking away to him about blah, blah, blah. We want this on SBTV and stuff.
That's mad.
And we're like, what?
That's mad.
You know,
It's a good
so
song, like this.
so I just moved so quick. Like this is the thing, as in like people don't realize is like I don't care if it's 5 o'clock in the morning or, you know, whatever, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as in like if an opportunity comes up, I'll do my best to get that opportunity there, then, and boom, done, and like that's it. And that's how you move forward, because it's just like if you go beyond your means to get something, like people remember that.
Yeah.
So how long did it take for Sky to get to you then and say, right, I want to shoot a video?
Well, I think we shot this freestyle and we talked about it when we done that, and he told me
Sky's freestyle.
Yeah. So we talked about it then, and he originally said that he didn't want to do it and he wasn't going to send. And I says to him, I says, look, there's, you know, like there's no point in sending, you know, if you don't want to send, there's no point in doing it, because that fact is that like you're not benefiting from it really. Like you're not going to benefit. But then obviously he went away, thought about it, and thought, I'd say I'm going to benefit. Like, you know, it is worth my time and stuff. And, you know, because it was done on a good level, you know, like professional videos and stuff like that, and actually like in front of people, almost kind of like a clash, it made sense. It worked well.
It did. Honestly, it was one of the best things I've seen in the whole time I've been involved in this.
And shout out to Shogun as well, because you'd think that some rappers, like you would shoot the video with them, and then if you were to do the other side, they'd be like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But no, it was straight
No,
down the middle,
both
done
sides,
well,
both
really
sides knew, like, because I was like, I'm cool with both. Like, I was just like, well, I'm not putting an opinion on that. I was like, I don't really care.
You're just like an
Plus, like,
impartial party.
good. The first person to win beef that wasn't in it, like that's insane.
One.
We said that on a couple of shows ago, just for a laugh. But
I mean, they're both cool now, as far as I'm aware. I think I don't know who reached out. I think one of them reached out to the other one.
Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, they're all. I mean, they're not. You're not going to hear a collab album or anything like that coming up. But I mean, they're cool. I think they've got a show coming
Just
up
as I said.
soon together.
Well,
as
I
well.
don't know. As in, like, the thing is
Said
that
that would
like,
happen.
well, I don't. This is the thing. As in, like, I don't know everybody's beefs. Like, honestly, like it is. You know, like I'll meet somebody and they'll be chatting shit about like that person or that person, and be like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. I'm like, what, you're now beefing that guy? Like, you know, but the thing is, because I'm obviously, you know, running a channel, I try to look at everything like a non-biased view of. I know a lot of people would disagree with me and be like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, but you know, like I try. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if as long as I'm trying to be unbiased, like that's all you can really do. You know what I mean? Because not everyone's gonna agree with your opinions on who you put on, who you don't put on, or whatever. But
yeah, and I kind of get the feeling that some rappers that are, you know, have problems with people, they try and gather people on their side for some reason, and they can't do it themselves. Like they'll say an opinion about someone else, and then they'll maybe go to media outlets or do a video or something, and then want that person that's doing it to join their side as well, and create like a team of people that are going against this one person, and vice versa.
But then but then the thing is though, it totally depends who's involved and who's doing what. You know what I mean? So as I said, isn't like if somebody like this, like one of like my best mates, you know, who also like a lot of my best mates are rappers, and like if they diss them, I'm not gonna put it on Wavvy, like because I'm like, well, you're just slagging off my best mate, like why you sending shots for no reason? Yeah. But if, for example, like I don't know, for example, like if my, like, I know it sounds really biased, but it's like if one of my best mates had sent for someone and they wanted to put on a track, it's almost like, well, if the person wanted to send back, I would. You know what I mean? Like I would give them the equal opportunity that, like, right, cool. If I'm gonna, and to be honest, it is the same idea as the other way around. If I had agreed, like, look, this track is really hard, but you're slagging off one of my mates, I'm gonna give that person, I'm gonna tell that person, you know, like, or when it comes out, share the video with that person, say like, what do you think of this or whatever? You're gonna send back, you know, and then you've got obviously the same idea of what happened, but it is like if you don't put it in a professional sense and put in like an actual like package form to give people, then what are you doing? You're chatting shit online for no reason. Like it's not even worth it. You know?
It's done a lot for the scene, and it's got people talking, as we said, and nobody got hurt. There was a couple of songs going back and forward from different people. It wasn't just Shogun as well, and Sky, and you know.
But then the thing is though, is that like music's always like people get so gassed up, but music is just music. Like it's just like you know what I mean. As in like there's nothing like people's lives can be real, but you know, music isn't real. You get what I mean? Like, it isn't actually physically, like, it's not going to affect your life. Like, if I slag you off on a track, like, it's not going to do anything. And only somebody who's like mentally unstable or stupid would cross that barrier between life and music. Like, you're not going to do that. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, like, if somebody obviously says something really like hurtful or something about, you know, whatever, I could see why people would cross that. But like, who wants to go to jail because somebody calls you something online?
Enough, it does happen.
We're talking about that. I don't know if you've seen that today. You know, the rapper that got killed in New York. What's his name again?
Who, Chinks?
Stack Bundles.
Is it Stack Bundles? But the footage got released today of the shooting.
Oh no! Fuck.
And it was 2 rappers that were involved.
Bankroll Fresh.
That's the one. Sorry,
Bankroll Fresh.
So
he actually shot first though from the video.
So in front of the studio, he's got an AK in his hands.
Yeah.
And he's like aiming at a car across the road, and it goes up to them, kind of, you know, obviously shouting at each other. The footage cuts off, and obviously the guy at the opposite end, he shoots the guy with the AK-47 Bankroll Fresh, and he died. And the guy who done it got let go. So they've got him on camera shooting someone. He got let go because he shot him in self-defense.
Jesus.
That's all, you know, American. It's guns and everything. It's totally different here, but it can go that way sometimes, as you're saying. Like if they're taken out of context.
But then you just really need people. That's what I'm saying. Isn't, like, you just need people that can literally sit there and go, "Are you actually for real? Like, are you actually?" You know, like, because I know I've met people in life that they're very like irrational thinkers. Like, they'll batter somebody because they've said this, and I'm like, what, you're actually going to potentially get, like, you know, assault charges and stuff just because that person said this about like something that's totally irrelevant and it doesn't really affect you. And, you know, but it's like, people think differently, you know what I mean? Like, you can't stop that sort of stuff from happening, as in.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, like, especially if you're the guy in the middle, you're the media guy. Why you're roped into anything, it's totally beyond me. Why people are calling out your name is ridiculous, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Fair enough, if you're wanting to be in it and you are rapping and you're going at certain people and they come back at you, you're a willing participant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then it kind of comes down to the way that I've like branded everything. So like I've branded myself as Konz, and I've branded Wavvy Music as Wavvy Music. So I could have easily just never showed face, hid behind the camera, just, you know, filmed Wavvy, and then it could have still happened. But I know for a fact that you know, if I say to Apple to you, who do you think? Steve Jobs. Yeah. Like, you know, if I say Virgin to you, who do you think? Richard Branson. Like, that is not like, you know, like.
Oh, if you said Virgin, I would just say Jigz. But
cracking the joke.
He's had that plan for 5 episodes. Been waiting for someone to drop that company name, man.
You paid me extra.
I've seen he's texting before, man.
But yeah, so now.
But yeah, so it is like, you know, the sense of like, if you
a good brand needs a face, basically, is what it is. You need a name and a face behind.
Yeah,
the
so I feel like because I've done that, it is very easy for people to bring me into whatever it is that they want to bring me into. But it's what it is.
I mean, you've said 70 freestyles you've done in your first year.
70 freestyles on Wavvy, and filmed other freestyles for other channels. So like I did the, well, I don't want to really bring up because I was the controversy of it, but I filmed the Fire in the Streets. I filmed the 3 episodes, the 3 Scotland episodes, because I made sure it still happened.
Okay.
Because I was just like, I'd seen it as like a good opportunity.
Did that? I'm totally unaware of this. This is news to me. Did that come off the back of Charlie Sloth being aware of your discussion and it went from there, or was this already pre-planned from before this, or what?
It was pre-planned because like I was in discussions with their management of potentially filming stuff for them, because you know, the same idea as what I had with Link Up. I was kind of just like, well, I can do this for you, you know, and I kind of like said that to a few channels. I was like, well, if you want to film, if you want Scottish freestyles, you know, hit me up or whatever, like, and I'll film it for your channels. And it wasn't the sense of like, you know what I mean? I was taking off the Wavvy Music hat and I was putting on the I want the Scottish scene to do really, really well. Like, how am I going to do this? And, you know, put people on different channels down south. Like, so that's how that came about, because I was in talks with them, and they.
It's made a difference, man. You're seeing You're seeing a lot of Scottish people on SBTV, on Link Up, and yeah, whether it's a good or a bad thing. I mean, right now,
Well, if you don't like it, don't pay.
yeah.
But the thing
You've
is,
got the
it
option,
is
that's what I mean.
it is a good thing, and the reason I say it's a good thing is because when we first released Mercenary, Ransom FA, the music video I filmed for that with Lil Nasty, and we went down to London. It got released on Link Up TV, and I'm sure it was like the likes and dislikes had to be disabled and stuff, like, because it was getting so much like hate towards it because people didn't know what the hell it was. Whereas now you look at, like, you know, 2016 Wishing comes out with Murky Ace and that, and, you know, like Wake Up and everything. People are rating it now, and it isn't like that it's fully changed sounds or anything. It's just the fact that, like, they didn't know, now they know. Now it's like they can't hate on it. You know.
Yeah, I've always said, you know, we're facing the same problem that people from London had when they were trying to do American music. So how can they then turn around and say no one else can do it when they were doing exactly the same thing? Why do people in America not understand us and all this? They're doing exactly the same thing.
Exact same.
So, like, it's just, I didn't get it. I just don't get it. And then we're going to do it when someone else does it, when somebody from Japan does it. I've heard people already, close friends of mine, going, what is that?
Wait till you're like Newcastle grime or something like that. You know what I mean?
Didn't get it, like, but yeah. If it's bad, it's bad. Like, you know, like Blackpool stuff, like, it's garbage. But you know, that's not because of the accent or anything. Like, I couldn't care less. You could be from anywhere as long as.
But you know, like, it's quite funny that you speak about this, because everything that I thought was against us is now in our favour. Like, somebody comes to Scotland and they go to speak to me because they're like, what's the best, you know, like, channel, where should I be? And then they go, oh yeah, you should go speak to Konz, and they go and think. And, you know, like, because if I was in London, there'd be 10 of me. But in Scotland, there's only one of me. You know, and like, and now with the accents as well, like, if you want to talk about the accents, it's got to a stage where people want to hear a different accent. They don't want to just hear you know, like a London accent, which they already know about. You know, they want to hear different, like, you know, examples of grime music, you know, and coming to Scotland, like, it's completely different, because we're not going to speak about the same things that other people are going to speak about, and we're obviously not going to sound the same as everybody else. So
and you've seen other reaction channels to doing it, Scottish grime.
Like,
every single one's been positive.
A lot of stuff.
Every single one.
They're all feeling them.
It's so funny watching them though, because, like, you know, if you were involved in any of the videos or whatever that they're watching, I'm just like, wonder what they're gonna say.
Like, visuals by Konz.
I watched one. It was some boy tore like Audacity to shreds. Like,
I know you're on about. I've seen that one.
But being so old and being like some Jake in a park and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you seen his recent one?
Yeah.
Did you see that the guy?
He's fire, isn't it?
That's unbelievable, Like,
Which one?
Did you see that same guy took down the video because he was like shitting himself? He was like, no, honestly, it was a guy. I think it was a little kid from Glasgow, because I'd seen it. And it was like, oh, this is a Scottish BG Media. And that's what it was. Yeah. And then the little kid was like replying to them like, oh, I'm sorry, I never thought anybody was gonna see this and all that. I'm like,
and then he put another one up, and it was like a bit more positive, you know what I mean? He was like making jokes, it was all positive. All this stuff about Audacity was like amazing stuff.
Yeah, but if he does,
I'm like, man, if you're gonna be a keyboard warrior, at least see it through. You know what I mean? Don't bail as soon as somebody questions your opinion.
Have you dealt with them before? Keyboard warriors?
What, like in battle?
Like,
if you battle people
like,
online,
anything you put up, I mean, obviously you spark debate, and obviously you have a lot of like arguments and stuff like that.
I don't
not like you know what I mean. Like,
I don't mean this. Like this just occurs.
I mean, people, is their opinions gone too far sometimes, or is there anything you felt that's maybe crossed the line?
Nah, nobody's went too far, because the thing is that nobody personally like, the most people that comment on me don't even know me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, all these people were saying, oh, the funniest ones his mummy and daddy's on 100k a year each, and he lives, you know, and I'm from Bears Den, and I was like, what the hell's Bears Den? I still haven't searched it up, but I presume it's basically
a rich place.
A rich place, like it's like Rubislaw Den in Aberdeen. Yeah. Like, but. At one, I'm from Aberdeen. I was born and bred in Aberdeen, so I've never stepped foot in Bears Den, and I can trust you, my mum and dad are not on 100k a year. And if they were, and the thing is, say if they were, if they were, I could assure you, Wavy music would be massive right now.
Yes. Is there anyone you've not had on the channel yet that you've wanted to get on, or you've tried to get on?
Yeah, Skepta. Nah, seriously though, like
you kind of had them on, but you didn't.
Nas.
Nah, like there's
Nas
no.
has not replied to my emails. Anyone from up here?
Up here?
Yeah.
Top 3 in order.
I want to hear that. Let me answer one question at a time, man. Fucking hell.
And the funny thing is,
Right,
he just knows that people are going to get catch feelings about this.
This is the thing though.
I just
like,
love
I know
love
right
it.
now, like no matter what I say, like I'm actually better just being silent.
Right, top
But-
3.
Top 3.
Oh wait, no, we're skipping back. Back to my
Nah.
question. Anyone that you've not had on that you wanted to get on?
Nah, like I don't necessarily like wavy music's not even just like for me. Like, you know what I mean? As in like this is the thing, as in like I try think about it bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, so my opinion doesn't fully matter. It's more to do with, you know, what is the person doing in terms of like what have they released, what is the next thing for them, where are they at, you know, in their stage of career or whatever. And it is literally that. So it's just like 1 minute, you know, and this is, it reverts back to people not liking when I criticize the music, as in it is literally just like I want people to get better.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I want the scene to do well. So if you're doing well, I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and it's not a sense of like he only wants to work with me because I'm doing this or whatever, and he didn't want me on the channel before. It's like, no, because you weren't ready. You know, and the thing is that like I'll tell you a story about when I used to want to be a rapper, but Tim Westwood was coming to Aberdeen, right? And I thought if I recorded my mixtape before Tim Westwood got to Aberdeen, I could hand him the mixtape, and that's how you become big. Now, I thought that that's how you become big. Now, we all know now that that's not how you become big. It's a lot. You don't just get big overnight because Tim Westwood plays you on Radio 1 Extra or whatever it is. But at the time, I thought that, right? So I can forgive people when people think, oh yeah, but I'm ready, man, I'm ready. Let me do a freestyle. I'm like, look, a freestyle is not going to change your life. It's, well, pardon the pun, you know, like obviously it did with Shogun, but that was a one-off. Like, well, hopefully it would happen again.
Yeah,
but
the exception
it's like,
the rule. Like,
exactly. Like, so it is one of those things. But the thing is that like you can't tell people, you know, this, and that's why there is like a lot of controversy, because people like, you know, like I've seen things that other people wouldn't even get the opportunity to see, like, you know, like behind the scenes at Leeds Festival and like behind the scenes at Tea in the Park and all these different things. And, you know, it's just about getting to see different parts of the music industry and learning different parts that you then are able to make the bigger picture and be like, all right, okay, so that's the producer, you know, the producers, that's up to the lighting and, you know, the lighting people, that, you know, sound engineer, whatever it is. You know, and it is the sense of like, that's why the controversy happens.
Totally avoided the question, so I'll ask it again. Who do you want?
Let's go for
Top 3 rappers of all time, any place, anywhere.
Of all time?
Yeah.
top
and,
5. Top 5.
or
I
top
can't
5.
do that.
Top 5.
And bear in mind where you are in this house. So this person needs to appear. He's on the wall up there. The last person to do that didn't.
You know what the thing is that I wouldn't even have brought his name into it. Not that I wouldn't have brought his name into it. That there's so many rappers. Like there's literally too many to put on a list.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not doing that as a cop out question or whatever. But like, even if you talked about like London rappers, like, I find it funny nowadays that
Who you listen to right now then?
it literally changes all the time, and I'm not even joking. I was like, right now, actually, I'll say one name that I rate so highly that he's just so fucking sick. Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Like right now, Abracadabra is killing everything.
That song you put out, like, that was it last year?
Yep.
That was a banger. Like,
Have you heard the song The Roads?
No, I've not. No.
Oh, that's so
that
good.
one, yeah.
Oh, what was the other ones that he done? His Mad About Bars. That was a good one. And he done
There's one with Kojo Funds as well. I can't remember the name.
Is
of
it Done Talking?
So did you grow up with American rap at all then? Or was it all British?
A little bit. A little bit American. So like, you know, I'm sure we had this discussion before about like,
so, yeah.
you know, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna.
You think so? It was only like
I'm not
an hour
gonna.
ago.
No, this is like when we met before.
Yeah, the video shoot and stuff.
With the video shoot, well, yeah, because like people talk to me about like Wu-Tang and all these different things. I'm like, I don't have a clue, you know. And it's not that I'm like I could find out, but it's just the fact of the matter is I kind of went
Should
from.
have said Wu-Tang him.
No, but it's not a sense like, you know.
I understand it. Like
Here's a life lesson for everyone. Like, this is something that I had to learn. I'm never gonna say to try never say to anybody again. When somebody says, oh, you haven't listened to that. You don't know Tupac. You don't know that guy. You don't know that guy. It's like, well, there is a potential that person never came across that. You get what I mean? So like in terms of like my like progression was that I found Eminem, then I started listening to 50 Cent and Dr. Dre and all that different stuff. And then there was a hell of a lot of like American rappers like back in the day, like sending MP3 files and stuff on like LimeWire and all that. So I did listen to a lot of American rap, but it was kind of like more like tracks from different artists. So I like wouldn't necessarily know who the artist was. Just listen to that. But then I moved on to obviously I heard Devlin and then Dot Rotten, Wiley, Skepta, all these people, and then I started following that scene because like to me I stopped listening to American rap at that point because
relatable.
Yeah, well, it was.
I feel sorry for the people that didn't buy the £25 import CDs at HMV.
Ah, mate, you've no idea.
So like they were selling for like $10 in America. We'd have to wait months, even up to a year, for the CD to come here, and then I paid like 25 quid for All Eyes on Me and stuff. I know it's a double album, fair enough.
I've got like a RZA album. I paid like $27.99 for. I still got a sticker on it.
It's crazy, and that's like.
So you're still gonna do that. You still do that with records now, anyway.
Yeah, and that's years after it got released as well. So that was released in 1996, and when I was buying these things, it
wasn't accessible back then. There was no way to get this music. Right, we'll end it on one note. We've tried to skip around it, but I'm coming back to it, and I'll reformat the question. Yeah. What's the top 3 videos you've ever shot?
Jesus.
Going back, I mean, I'm talking ever.
Maybe not the best songs, but like your favourite to shoot.
Favourite ones you've shot.
I shot
Centerfold, obviously.
RawsKO's one. Number one.
That's number one.
Just because DZ was on time, it was like a miracle.
So who's 2 and 3 basically is what we're asking.
There's just so many, like even like last year, like I filmed for it. I know it's not obviously not rap music, but filmed for a band called We Came From Wolves, and we went out, and the concept of the video was
I've seen that.
Yeah, so the concept of the video was that they were burying the album, the lyric book to the album, because it was the last track in the album, and we went out to it's a place called Rest and Be Thankful, out next to Loch Lomond and stuff. So honestly, this day was like beautiful. Like it was like 30 degrees. Well, as close as 30 degrees happens in Scotland, but it was actually roasted. And we're just driving through an amazing scenery and stuff. And I'm just sitting on, like the hills, looking at all this scenery, like filming this stuff. Yeah. And I'm just like, this is my job. I'm actually doing this. And so that, but it's hard to be put on the spot to think about videos because there's, as it says, and like there's so many mad things. Even like, I know this is so recent, but last night I filmed an interview with Ford Kiernan.
That's what I was going to ask you, and Kyle from The View.
Yeah.
Right.
Weirdest experience.
How did that happen? Like, how does that come about?
Basically, Susie has secured an interview with both Ford and Kyle. Yep. And it kind of came up with the idea of like, look, let's just take Ford along, because Ford knows Kyle, so it was just like, oh, we'll just take him along, and we'll do the interview and see what comes out of it. It was just banter basically. So don't know I can't say much about like what they said or what's happening. Obviously you'll see it.
How's it coming out?
I'm not sure yet, so I don't know behind the scenes stuff, but like filming that, like obviously like we went and we had drinks and everything, and just chilled with them and stuff.
Nice.
And just good comedy. Like
how were the two of them together?
It's Glaswegian and Dundonian. What do you think the Glaswegian did?
Sounds like it started a joke or something.
Yeah, he did slag off the Dundonian. I'm sitting there thinking, Kyle, like, I'm from Aberdeen, like I feel your pain, like.
But, so unless actually we can we always usually finish off by saying, what have you got coming up? You mentioned you got your 4 freestyles for here.
4 freestyles. The
website's dropping
this Sunday. Definite, promised, guaranteed.
Yeah, that was guaranteed earlier.
Guaranteed,
yeah. Even if you just said guaranteed there, so we can edit that in. So that's dropping on Sunday as well. So this will be up before then. Probably be up on Saturday. And then we've got no mention our next guest yet. But what else have you got? Anything else that you're not mentioning coming up that you should be?
Wavvy launch party Tuesday, just so you know.
Yeah, so Tuesday, what is it, the 28th of February?
Yep.
With the Flat 01 in Glasgow. That's the Wavvy Music launch party. The website's going out. I'm working on trying to get the Spotify playlist sorted. So like end of last year, I managed to secure an official branded account with Spotify for Wavvy Music. Nice. So that's happening. don't want to say too much, but potential like documentary style videos gonna start doing. You know, I've had, I know we're sitting down thinking about it, you know, like actually thinking, but I've had ideas of, you know, how you're saying, like, I'm quite opinionated, like, I thought about having ideas of actually speaking to people and, you know, like, just making random short videos of just talking about subjects and stuff like that. Like, not like, you know, not like proper, like, podcast or whatever, but it's just like looking at, like, look, that, you know, what do you think about this? Have a random person in that has, you know, a clue, and then I'll just talk about it to them.
Yeah,
like,
it needs to happen.
heaps of different things, just like, because the thing is, like, everybody just needs to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, like, yeah, so world domination.
Nice
World
one.
domination.
Well, we all need to do that, as we all need to incorporate somehow, like filming this and then sticking it live on Facebook as a stream.
Yeah.
Just like what Joe Rogan does. I don't know if you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast.
Oh, no.
Brilliant.
And then all Konz online fans can put under pressure.
Yeah. Oh, we can get questions from the audience. Yeah, I like that. But yeah,
Do that right now.
Once I get fans,
well, you've already got one that you told us about.
You rate me? You watch my videos?
Nah,
The one guy
with the selfie.
One guy that wanted a selfie with you.
It's all good.
But yeah, so thanks for coming through.
Yeah,
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
with pleasure.
We've got many shows coming up. We did slack a little bit, but that was because of a couple of things that happened, which we won't talk about. But
You're not meant to tell them when you slack. You're meant to pretend like you're busy all the time.
yeah, so this will be up obviously as soon as possible on the Saturday, I think, and then we'll hopefully have one up next couple of weeks as well.
Yep.
So yeah, is there anything else you want to?
I'm all good, man. It was a good
Cool.
episode.
So thanks for tuning in. Again, this will be, if you're watching us on YouTube, it's up on iTunes and all that.
Get the audio. It's going to be
Get the audio.
on. It's going to be on where? iTunes, Podbean. You can
Mixcloud.
stream it, download it, watch
Yeah.
on YouTube, and yeah, we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Because it ties in what we were saying earlier. You know, you're saying to get a video is good.
This is like the Lord of the
music.
Rings. Like, you know, it's how many ending points there is, and it just keeps going on
Yeah.
and on. When like it should have ended like fucking at this point here. You know, when they went to see Frodo when he was lying in the bed, it should have ended there, and then then they go here.
So
like, this is like honestly, man,
Yeah.
it's the Lord of the
So-
Rings all over again.
yeah, that was our thinking. Though. We wanted to get visuals on it as well, so that's good to get you on camera. So thanks for coming through. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the iTunes. Hit the notification bell as well. So when a video comes up,
Don't worry.
When a
The video is going to end at some point now.
yeah. So when the video comes up, you'll literally get a text or a little notification appear on your phone, and you'll be able to catch it straight away.
Like everyone's sleeping.
Nah,
though.
man, cut that,
Everyone-
cut
no
that,
one-
cut that.
No one can subscribe. They all fell asleep. They're all napping.
So yeah, thanks for
That
tuning
happened
in.
about 50 minutes ago.
The real ending point.
Yeah. So is this the real end of the point now?
No. I'm going to say one last thing. Yeah, subscribe to the channel. Nah, seriously though, like, yeah, subscribe to this channel, Wavy Music and everything.
Oh, Wavvy as well. Yeah, forgot about that.
But basically, because Konz wouldn't tell you his top 3 videos, I'm probably going to go and tell you mine.
Not now.
Yes,
Right, that's it done. Cheers.